Hi, so today we'll be going through the basic use of Photoshop, and these are basic ways of creating and editing your images, whether it be a photograph, a Google image, or even a photograph of your drawn artwork. We will be covering the importance of layers and other effects that you can utilize and use to create all of these editing choices using Photoshop. So we can start by opening Photoshop, new, create a new file, and here you'll see different kinds of sizes, some for web, landscape, customs. Let's just for now just use custom 8x10, and I'll do a landscape just for this demo. So just gonna create that file, and here on the right you will see the layers. So the background is basically what you're seeing here, and you can actually see this plus right here. You can actually add more layers right here, and you see the eyeballs here. That's basically making the layers visible or invisible, and you can arrange the layers all you want as well in different orders. So let's start with the basics by I'm gonna grab an image from my desktop. So I'm just gonna go open and look for an image we can use for this demo. I'm gonna be using this image, so I'm gonna start by just copying the entire image. So I just highlighted the whole thing using this square here. Just highlight the whole image, go to copy, go to edit, copy, go back to your project right here and paste, and there's the image. So I want to start by duplicating, creating layers. So right here you can see it's layer 1. It's pasted right here. I want to just grab this image right here. So here there's a tool, there's lasso, there's polygonal lasso and magnetic lasso. You can use either one. I tend to use a lot this one because I feel like I have more control. So I'm just gonna zoom in, and what I want to do is just copy this figure, take care of every single detail. So there we go. So basically it's highlighted the image that I want. So what I want to do then, make sure this layer is highlighted. So meaning I want to basically cut and copy this portrait. So I'm just gonna go copy from edit, copy, and then I'm going to just paste, and you can see here it created a layer. So if we just take that out, shrink this, you see there's the layer right here. So if I reveal the image, you can see there it is. It literally just cut and pasted that image. So I'm just gonna I'm not gonna delete this. I'm just gonna make it invisible for now. And let's say if you wanna save an image, save it as a JPEG without this, you could always go back to your Photoshop version and you have all of these images still there. I tend to just basically put it on blind because sometimes I might end up wanting to use the original image again. So instead of deleting it, I would just put it blind. And here, so it's a little skewed. So I want to try and unskew the image. So up here, there's transform. You can see you can change the scale, you can rotate, skew, distort, perspective, warp. Let's try perspective. See how it just kind of changes the perspective of the image itself. Just gonna enter that, and I'm thinking I want to change the scale to create some kind of a pattern. What you can also do is, I want to create a pattern using this head. You can go to duplicate the layers right here, just click on that, and it just duplicated the layers right there. And then I can even change it right here, rotate 180 degrees, rotate 90 clockwise, counterclockwise. So I'm just gonna start duplicating these layers. Duplicate the layers again, and I'm thinking of creating some kind of a pattern. So I'm just gonna change this, and this one 180 degree. There we go. I wanted to kind of create almost like a pinwheel floral motif. Let's see. Now that I'm happy with that, you see all of these layers are separate, but I want this entire layer as one layer. So you could actually do that by clicking onto the first layer and put your hand on the shift button, press shift, and then click on the last layer so all of those pieces are highlighted. Go to layer and merge layer, and you're gonna see it made that entire layer into one right here. And I'm just gonna rotate this because I like an X kind of look. There we go. And then looking at it, okay, that's good. I can even duplicate more of these layers. Duplicate that. If I wanted to create more patterns, duplicate another layer. So you can see how you could literally just play around with creating as many patterns as you'd like. And then you can even just take all of these layers again, highlight the top layer, put your finger on the shift button, shift key button, highlight the last layer so all of it is highlighted, and I'm just gonna merge that again, merge layers. And as you can see, it created a whole pattern, and it's in one layer. And then I can even duplicate that other layer, so you can kind of see how to kind of create a certain kind of pattern using the Photoshop. And then create that layer again, merge these layers, and then duplicate that other layer, and now there's two. There we go. So that's basically a cool kind of way of using layers and duplicates to create patterns that you might want to use. So these are the basics, and what you'll notice as well, you can even adjust all of the layers order, and I'm just going to show this so you guys know. If I push this at the top, you'll notice that it goes at the top of the page like this. So whatever's in order here, the very top means it's at the forefront of the page, and whatever's at the bottom here will be at the very back of this page. So let's say I like that. I can save that as a JPEG and also save it as a Photoshop version. Make sure you always save a Photoshop version of your work, so you can always go back if you need to rework it, and if you need to basically continue working on it much later on. And another trick as well, if you want to play around with the background, I'm just gonna add another layer here, put it all the way to the background. I'm gonna just keep that in. Just gonna close that so it doesn't confuse me, and I'm gonna choose a color. Let's say kind of color, maybe this kind of a beige color. And right here you can see there's paint bucket and gradient. So I'm just going to choose the paint bucket tool with this color, and I'm just going to color that whole thing. And as you can see, it kind of just made a backdrop color. You want to create much more depth with that. Here's another trick. Just going to create another layer, go back here and go to gradient tool, and let's say I want a darker color of that. Let's say, there we go, and just start where you want your gradient, darkest gradient would be, which is this color. So I'm going to start here, click, and release, and you're going to see this gradient color. I find it a little too dark, so I'm just gonna, right here it says opacity, you can change the opacity, and as you can see, it's just subtle. I like the subtlety of this, so just keep that. I'm gonna create another layer. This time I want to use white and use the same gradient again. Okay, here we go. And I'm just gonna lower down the opacity, so I'm creating the color that I wanted, a dark mist, and then you have the lighter mist up here to create a little bit of depth. And these are from these layers. You can see when I made it invisible, you got the main layer, first layer, the dark, second layer, the light, and make sure you actually change your opacity. That will change your gradient so it's not as harsh. And then I can just reveal the whole thing, and as you can see, it's now seated on a backdrop with color and depth. So I'm just gonna save as, save it, and always remember to title. So we'll say result is the image, and put my name in it. So now I'm just saving a Photoshop file of this on my desktop. Here we go. So I can always refer back to it if I need to rework it again. And then I can save it as, on the desktop, I can save it as a JPEG format. It's on maximum. Great. Okay. The work. And that's one of the basic things that you could use your Photoshop. I hope all of those little tricks can help you start off using Photoshop. And again, there's a lot of different tools, as you can see, that you can just explore. A lot of it is very intuitive, so choose to just explore most of those ways of really editing and really utilizing the Photoshop app. Until next time, we'll see you soon. Thank you for watching.